Hi, Scrappers. This is Alice Fung from Morgantown, Pennsylvania. I want to show you the damask border punch today and a couple things you can do with this. I'm going to quick pin my page here so you can see it. So this is the damask border punch. It makes this beautiful edge. This is the actual punch. What I want to show you, I punched these two borders out. How pretty are these? This background paper is actually from the devotions pack. I'm still working on my daughter's wedding, so I've been playing around with it and said, oh my gosh, this punch is going to be absolutely stunning. So what I want to show you is what you can do with these borders is you can actually overlap them or put them together with just the tips, and it creates a whole new look for a border. How cool is that? Is that just beautiful? So what I want to show you also is, I'm just looking for my scissors because here it is, is a couple other ideas. So you can overlap it and just by the tips, or you can overlap it to make almost like a flower by overlapping it a little bit more. Whoops. Put that out. How pretty is that? I absolutely love this look. So there's so many different things from the damask border punch just as it is. You can actually make it, it's a frame punch, so you can do around the edges of a square as well, or overlap it for this really cool look. Now I want to show you one other look. This is another sheet of paper from the devotions pack. Like I said, working on a wedding, so want to make sure we have actually went to about 7 weddings this year, so I want to make sure I do a lot of extra wedding pages. So I am going to quick punch this, and if you can see on this border punch, there are little lines out here where on the outer edge, and that's where if you want a border like one of these straight across, you're actually going to put your paper in, and you're going to start with the edge of your paper right up against this back wall of the punch. And you're going to put this edge over here up against that line on the outside front. And you're going to move your paper over. There's a design on the side that will match up with your paper that you just punched. So I keep the back edge of the paper against this back wall of the punch here, and then I move it over and cover the blue design perfectly with the paper piece that I just punched, and keep moving it over, and it's just so simple to use and such a pretty punch. So we're just gonna punch one strip because I have another strip already done, and I'm going to show you what I'm making with this one, because you're all saying, what is she going to make? What is she going to make? Okay, so I've punched out my damask. This is called the damask flourish frame punch. So I've done all the damask. Oh, there's an edge on my table that's getting this caught. We're going to put a piece of black down so you can see this beautiful edge in the white and gold paper. And what I did was I punched out of red the Flourish Vine Border Maker cartridge. Another real pretty edge to it. But now I'm going to do something really cool with this. I'm going to put the edge of this damask flourish design. The very tip points are going to go at my 2.5 inch mark. So I'm going to put them at 2.5 inches and cut off this border. So now I have this border, my extra piece of paper away, and this beautiful border. I actually have two of them, and I cut two of the Flourish Vine Border Maker cartridges, so you can see those as well. What I'm going to do, I'm taking my scissors. These are the newer micro scissors, and I am going to cut the edge inside just apart on this damask flourish punch. And you can see I am just cutting that little piece off just so that I can weave something through. And you will see in just a minute, I'm just doing each edge. And I learned this from my friend Becky, taught me this, saw her video today. And I said, oh my gosh, I have to share this with all of you. So now what I'm going to do is you can take your multi-purpose tool or your finger and just kind of fold that back a little bit. Just kind of fold it up. Don't actually fold the paper, but just kind of push it back so they kind of stick up a little bit. So all those little pieces stick up. Then I'm going to take my border maker punch that I did earlier, and I am going to stick that underneath each one of those edges and then push them down. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to I always take an old sticker strip and use my repositional tape. Repositional tape actually has little tiny glue dots on the tape cord here. And it's just going to leave little tiny glue dots, and I'm putting it on the back of this border. Flip that over. And then I'm going to put some on my Flourish Vine, and I can just run it straight across. And the reason I put an old used sticker sheet, there used to be stickers on here, it's almost like a piece of parchment paper, you can use that as well, is when I use the repositional tape on it, all the little glue dots will go onto my piece of paper, but in between the holes, I don't want it to go on the paper underneath or onto my mat, because then your mat gets all sticky. So any dots that fall in between those holes are going to go on whatever's underneath. By having that sticker sheet or parchment paper, it's going to keep you from getting those glue dots all over. So now I'm going to stick this. I'm going to fold this one up a little bit and this one up a little bit. I'm going to take my red border punch. I'm going to stick it underneath here, line up my edges, and tape that down, push all of these little edges down. Let me just do a little tape on the back of that. And you can see how pretty is that border. It just looks so pretty. So once again, I take my micro scissors. I am going to just snip those little edges so that I can put the border underneath the damask flourish finish. And I take using the border maker cartridge I used is the I think it's called Flourish Vine border cartridge. And this paper, if you're wondering about the paper, let me take this out again. I'm just going to run. I want a little bit of repositional tape on each one of those little tabs that I'm going to fold back so that it can tape it down onto the border maker strip. And then I'm just going to take my border strip, put some repositional tape, all the little glue dots go on there. And now I am going to lift each one of these and stick this border strip underneath each one of these little tabs, and I cut them apart so that they'll fit under those tabs. And 1 and 2. For some reason it's tilted a little bit here. So repositional tape, you can lift it up and reposition it. Haha, there's their name for you. But it also makes it, it does become more permanent. And once you have a page protector over your page, it's not going to come off. There you go. There is your new cool design with two different punches. I absolutely loved this idea. I just thought it looked so pretty. Again, don't forget, you can also take your flourish vine, your damask flourish border and put it on top of each other. Whoops, I want to kind of show you all of these edges. I'm running out of table space here. So you have your damask flourish border punch just as it is. You can overlap them just at the point, remember? Looks really pretty, or push it in for a little bit further for a more flower look. So that again is the damask flourish border punch. Have a great day. Happy scrapping. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I will see you all soon.